How do you make a good first impression?
All my clients that I like working with, how can I solve bigger problems for them? I took a big risk. I actually invested all my last money into a camera. After I did one photo shoot for free, he was like, we actually look for a new photographer. It's better to have 100 people who love what you do than 10,000 people that like you.
Yeah, so I have this powerful question.
Okay.
How do you make a good first impression?
I like that question. Well, I used to be quite awkward. At the beginning, I was like safe, polite, not asking too much because everyone told me. And then I was like a little bit too extreme. I was like asking directly questions, and people would be like, "You're kind of weird, but I like it." Asking whatever I think about.
Yeah.
So now I think I found like kind of the balance. And some people would say also like that they kind of see in me, like people who know me already, they see if I'm interested in someone or if I'm not.
Yeah.
So if like the conversation goes into an interesting place, I kind of light up and it's a good conversation. And if it doesn't, then I usually just move on and find something different, interesting. I try to be real.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have another question. What is the biggest mistake you made as a content creator?
Probably not understanding business. So thinking, like underestimating the power of learning business. I was thinking always business is like this woo thing.
Yeah.
It's like weird kind of thing that who cares about? You just need to have a good product. So I focused 6 years on the product and I created a really good product. I had amazing photos and stuff, but still like my colleagues would come to me and would show me like other photographers who are charging 10 times more and doing so much less of the work, and my photos would be better.
Yeah.
So it got me so confused. And it got me a lot of work because I was overworked. I had sometimes 4 different jobs a day, but it just burned me down. So like having a good product is amazing. It's great. It will get you a lot of work, but it will get you to burn out also really quick.
Yeah.
But when you learn business, you kind of learn how to step out of your business and do the creative stuff, which is marketing, which is like how do you get customers, how do you get more attention, how do you get people to desire you more. And when you don't know business, then you just do all the time and you're like all over the place and you just burn out. And you get always like calls from people who don't really respect you. That's like the cost of it. When you learn business, people respect you suddenly. Like when they pay something that's sometimes painful for them, they appreciate it. They respect you. They see you as an authority. When it's like, oh, you're making good photos, but he costs this, then it's like, oh, what am I compromising on? Maybe I'm taking a risk. I don't trust it completely. It depends what person, but some people are like, they micromanage you, or they kind of check like, hey, is he doing a good job? I don't trust him completely. Like, yeah, you gotta prove yourself, like from inside as well, or from like in person, and say the right things. But also when you're like paying low, then you start having this small mindset of like, oh, I'm just gonna do a minimum, and it's a whole cycle that kind of goes down, and it's negative. But when people pay a lot, then it's like, oh my god, thank you so much. You're thankful, and they're thankful, and they're appreciating what you do, and it's like.
So what was the cause that people paid you this amount of money and not that amount of money?
So I used to live in Amsterdam, and in Amsterdam I just knew everyone. So it would be also, hey, can you do a photo shoot tomorrow or tonight? So it was always like rush, right?
Yeah.
And then I actually broke up. Me and my ex, we broke up.
Yeah.
So I gave her the house, and because we used to live together, and I moved to a different house outside of the city.
Yeah.
And that did me amazing, because it forced me to say no to those quick jobs of like, hey, can you just 1 hour, come on, 200 euros. And I didn't want to do it because I had to take the train. So it would be like 5 times more time or 3 times more time. And so I had much more time, and then I was like focusing on the big jobs, on the big things. So I changed my whole portfolio, right? I started thinking, okay, I can actually like solve a bigger problem than just shoot 1 hour of an event. I can shoot a whole wedding, or a whole big event, and for much more, and I can offer much more. I can hire a videographer with me. I can have a second shooter. I can deliver the photos automatically. I can like invest time into thinking creatively about all my clients that I like working with. How can I solve bigger problems for them? Maybe I can do social media for them. Maybe I can do different things. And then it was like investing my time and energy into the big stuff. It forced me to say no to the small stuff and focus on the big stuff, and then the big stuff came. I
believe that there's no opportunity for countries like Pakistan or these kind of countries, and there's like a lot of opportunity in US. There's a lot of less fortunate people that are in bad situations, and there's like also a lot of people that are in the good spots, like in Europe. They make excuses that there's no opportunity in Europe.
Yeah. Well, I had to move from a small village to Amsterdam to find opportunities. It got me connected with all the big brands, all the people who work in the big brands. I meet an old client that I haven't spoken for a year, and suddenly I meet her in the Vondelpark, in the park in Amsterdam, and then the next hour she's sending me a message. Hey, I'm working at Tommy Hilfiger. Are you available for photo shoots? Yeah. And I'm like, cool, yes. Yeah. I wouldn't meet her again if I wouldn't live in Amsterdam, right? Yeah. But on the other side, you could be a victim and you can be in control of your life. Yeah. We are here in Bali, a third world country, right? Yeah. Like I spoke to the waiter, he makes $1 an hour. There is still a lot of business here. My friends here are millionaires and they're spending money, right? And we want to spend money. It's not that there are no opportunities. There are everywhere. But you gotta be smart about, okay, do I go here? Do I stay here? And there are opportunities online as well. Yeah. For sure. Like you can still connect to millionaires. Yeah. And it's all about speaking. Like this is also one thing I learned. It's like how the rich and the poor communicate is so different. Like a photographer who's low budgets, it's like, what are your prices? And it's like, yeah, my prices are this, or what kind of photo shoots do you want? Or it's like, it's not providing value. Someone who is really charging a lot of money, his answer would be like, hey, I looked into your profile, I love that you do this. I actually see that you might need help with this, and I'm happy to help you with that. Yeah. Those dates that you send me, it's high season. I can help you find a booking for this, or like for this wedding, it's high season. But I have experience shooting at this location, so I can help you with accommodation, or I can help you with other stuff. Yeah. And it's not this like, what do you want to give me? It's not this transactional kind of thing. It's more like, here's how much I can help you. I can help you so much. You just tell me how much you want. That's the beauty of like abundance.
Yeah, a lot of people have the scarcity mindset, but you can always be abundant, and you always can think freely, and you always can think positively about positive outcomes. But usually people sabotage their lives because of their thoughts. How do you manage to make sure that your thoughts are always positive?
I don't watch drama. I don't watch TV. I don't waste my time on news. Never. I never watch news. Never watch TV. Never watch other people's drama. Never even listen to other people's drama. If there's a girl around me that's gonna start like drama, no. Yeah. I'm out. This is the standard. Anyway, I can tell you a story about like what happened just like this week. Yeah. There's this guy that I know, or that friends of mine know. Yeah. And I learned that his product are $50,000. Yeah. 50 and 3 more zero. That's a lot of money. Yeah. That's a yearly salary for someone who's really good in that. Yeah. I was intrigued by that, so I made photos for him for free. I contacted him, sent him 3 times message, just offering free value. I was like, hey, I'm intrigued by that, or I heard that, I want to learn it. I'm happy to give you a lot for free. Like, here's all I can do for you for free. I just want to learn how you do that. Yeah. Right? Because I've never spoken, or I've never thought it was possible to sell something at this price. So for me, it's like, oh my God, I want to learn. So after 3 messages, he was like, fine. Yeah. Meet me here. Yeah. Right? And I just joined them he went to the sauna, I just joined him. You know, in the beginning, he didn't really pay attention to me. He was like, there's a whole game of like, am I valuable enough for him or not? Yeah. And then I started speaking to him like, hey, what are you doing about this? Like, why are you not posting on Instagram? Yeah. Why? Like, I started triggering all his problems that I see. Yeah. Right? I'm asking, trying to find problems, trying to find solutions. Yeah. Right? Trying to be helpful, basically. Yeah. And boom. And then the next day, we have another small meeting. It ended up in a 7-hour meeting. Yeah. With a big guy. He's connected to billionaires. So trying to be as helpful as possible, doing it for free, giving, because he's in a different level, and I want to be at this level. And now we're speaking about partnering up. Yeah. So he finds so much value in me, and I'm happy to do it all for free, and I'm happy to be here and help him because it helps me grow. I can see growth in it. But most people don't do that. You know, also if I would tell him, like, I want to help you with all of those things, but honestly, I really struggle with a place to sleep tonight, and I don't have money for food. After he saw all this value, he would be like, let me pay for your hotel, or let me, for him, it's nothing. Yeah. But now it comes from an authentic and honest place, you see? So you're like, I want to provide so much value, but with my situation, I don't have money to even sustain myself. If you could help me a little bit with that, I will give you everything. Yeah. And I want to learn from you, so I want to give you everything for free. Yeah. And now it's like a relationship of love. It's not a relationship of like transaction. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's not like you give me this, I give you this, and if not, we are like, like this is most interactions, right? With freelancers, it's like I want $3,000. I don't want to give you $3,000 because it doesn't look like it's worth it. And now it's like both end up in a negative state.
Yeah. So you transition from sales to pitching free value to love and help from your heart.
You're like, hey, I can help you with all of that. And then if you want to speak about money, if someone else reaches out for me, I will be like, I have so much to give you. You can just choose how much you want to take, right? And then they say, oh, I just want this small thing. And I'll be like, I'd be happy to do it, but I have other options which pay me like 10 times more. So I just don't have the time for it. And now it's a different interaction. It's not like, oh, you don't pay me this, I don't like want to do this, and it's just like, hey, this is the real situation. I have options. I cannot spend my time doing a small thing for you. I can only offer a minimum of $2,000. I cannot work for less because then
So Sam, you're now traveling around the world here in Bali, doing a lot of amazing things, living in villas, enjoying life. How much did social media actually change your life?
It's a complicated question. I mean, I live in Bali now because of it, right? I make money online. I sleep and I wake up and I see a notification that I got paid. On the other side, it's a trap as well. Like I wake up and I'm addicted to social media. I have to see all the notifications that I get. I have to see if my business is ruined. So it's very addictive because there's money tied to it. There's everything. Your whole business, your whole life is online. So like at the beginning, like in 3 months, I gained 75,000 followers. It was just numbers. Like I was waiting for it for 6 years. I dreamed about it. Suddenly happened, but then I questioned the whole meaning of it. It's meaningless. Right? Those followers suddenly, because I didn't gain any money. So then I was like, oh, now I have a new problem. Like, you got followers.
Now you need monetize.
But now I need to monetize it. Right? So that's a new problem. We live in Bali. I meet people with 500,000 followers, million followers. Often they still work at Fiverr. Like it didn't open doors for them. Often. So it's really not the followers. It's really what you do with it. And then there are people with 1,000 followers who are making $1 million a month or $1 million a year just from those followers. Like money and attention are not correlated yet.
The problem for a lot of people is they gain a lot of followings, but they can't even sell a t-shirt.
Well, that's for you, right? Because you live in Bali and you're in the industry, so you meet a lot of people with a lot of followers. Most people don't have followers at all. So that's the first problem, right? You don't have problems, but then you don't have money. But then I think you can just skip the followers and go to the money part. You don't need followers. Followers will help if you do it right, but most people do it wrong. And this is what I've been studying the past 2 years. How do you make sure that those followers are actually contributing to your life and not just like a trap? I've heard also so many people who say like you should be earning 1,000 a month from every 1,000 follower that you have, or you should be earning $1 from every follower you have. And it's like, what a scam. There's no correlation. It doesn't work like that really. There's the whole psychology of how to sell, and then you want just the quality followers or just the quality people. You can have those numbers, and it helps, but it's, if you focus on getting viral, then you will get viral. Cool. But then what?
Then what's the point?
It's just a bunch of people. What I do encourage is just being authentic, just being real, just being like, I did this challenge for myself. It's a huge challenge. How do I stay as authentic as possible in front of the camera? How do I be really me and not like most people, like you, the first time, right? You're thinking like, okay, what do I say that they think? What do I say that they think? Like, how do I prevent myself from the judgment, right? So I think this is the inner work of like, it's okay, I release it. I surrender, or
just like, completely disappears.
I'm a human, you're a human, they are human. If they judge it, that's fine. That's up to them. It just is. The benefits of being authentic and real and sharing the real stuff is so valuable. To be honest, I meet so many models here in Bali. In real life, they have really interesting things to speak about, right? We have wonderful conversations. They're amazing humans. They have a lot of interesting stuff. But then on Instagram, they just share photos of their face and their body. And it's like, I'm telling them every time, it's like, you are much more than that. You have much more to share than just your body or your face. Like, you have experienced so many interesting stuff. You have good stories. You like share those, and you speak about interesting stuff. And then it kind of creates a disconnect between like, who am I online and who am I in real life? And then you don't want to share online because you don't feel comfortable, and then you don't feel authentic. I think this inner work is just beautiful. And it's necessary for the future.
I believe she could sell, for example, a lot more. She would have spoken in front of people and showing her actual self. And
it's a deeper connection.
Deeper connection, and people are valuing and trying to
you become an
trust
influencer.
You.
You can become an influencer of just like body wear, if you just show photos of your
Yeah.
body, right?
Yeah.
If you start speaking about how the cotton is made, or how the clothes are made, or like the frequency of the clothes, or like a lot of niche kind of things,
Yeah.
you connect on a really deep level with some people, and they're like fans. Like there's a saying, it's better to have 100 people who love what you do than 10,000 people that like you.
Yeah. So you said that you bought a $50,000 course and you have invested in many courses. You've been talking to a lot of successful people that have been making like $50,000 per sale. And it's incredible. And what are the top habits that those successful people have?
I think it's like understanding return on investment. So it's like, I spend this money, time, energy. What do I get in return? Is it worth my time, right? So is TV worth my time? Is the news worth my time? What can I spend my time on most efficiently that will give me the most return? So, for example, hiring. Like one new person in your company can change everything.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a good return on investment. Outsourcing, learning from smart people, they invest in themselves. That's one habit like that I've noticed. Some people speak about like spiritual stuff with money. If you keep it all in, it's like you become this jealous guy, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't let his girlfriend out of the house.
Yeah.
And then she just runs away. Or if you spend your money, you invest it all the time in the right things, not in your ego, but you invest it into your business, into the right things, then it's like letting your girlfriend do whatever she wants,
Yeah.
but just being good
Yeah.
for her, being
Yeah.
a good option, and she comes back.
Yeah.
Something like that. So they invest their money, they put it in the right places, and they kill their ego, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading now a book called Ego is the Enemy, and it basically speaks about like how there is only growth if you don't do it for the ego. If you try to always not do it for the ego, which is hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are self-centered and always think only about themselves, and that breeds ego inside of them, and
Yeah.
usually
And you
they cannot control it. And how do they learn how to stop being always this ego machine, being mad at people and not being humble?
Like from my experience, for example, it's like I've learned that if I say you should become a millionaire and this is why, this is like kind of an egocentric place.
Yeah.
It's like you tell it because you think you're higher or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's like and it's unconsciously, right? You don't even notice that. You don't intentionally do that, but it just happens. And I learned it from my mom because she has so much fights with my father, with her
Yeah.
husband, and she studied like psychology and how do I make things right with her. With her partner, and she was like, I have to speak always from my perspective. So you didn't do the dishes, you didn't clean the house, you didn't do your part. So it's like instead of saying this is how you should become a millionaire,
Yeah.
or this is what you should do to become a millionaire, it's like this is what I did. It comes from a different place. So thanks, mom. Now I'm better in relationships.
Yeah, yeah.
and with my followers and online.
So, what was the reason? Why did you buy your first camera?
I actually wanted to be a DJ. My whole teenage years, I wanted to be a DJ, and then I moved to Amsterdam because that's like where all the DJs come from.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna be the next Martin Garrix. So
Yeah.
I went to all the bars, all the clubs, everywhere I could DJ, and I was like, hey, I wanna DJ here. And they were like, yeah, but everyone wants to DJ here.
Yeah.
I'm a DJ as well. Everyone is a DJ. Everyone I spoke to was a DJ.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, like I need to kind of stand out in a really crowded market. And then I remember finally I get an opportunity. I was DJing for free
Yeah.
for a bar before their opening time. But then after I finished, then the house DJ comes in and he's like, oh, sorry, I'm late. I did listen to your set, but how was it? Do you want to tell me a bit? And I was like, oh, so I just played for no one for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, well, tell me what's unique about you. And I was like, well, I just want to make people happy on the dance floor, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make people dance. There's something unique about me. And he was like, well, okay. And I was like, okay, well, I need to take this question home and I'll need to think about it. So I looked at all the big DJs that I liked, Martin Garrix, Tiesto,
Yeah.
all those people. Looked at their Instagram, Facebook, and I saw beautiful photos all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, paparazzi, all those things.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is it. I need to become like them. I need to have good quality photos.
Yeah.
So I took a big risk. I actually invested all my last money into a camera. And then I psychologically kind of convinced myself to buy this camera. And I was like, okay, well, with this camera, maybe I can go into the club. Maybe I can offer the clubs free photos.
Yeah.
And then I can be a DJ there. Once
Yeah.
I know the owner, then I can stand out. And then I did it. So I was working as a waiter in Hilton for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Really hard work. Going back home, opening my laptop, scrolling through Facebook. I see an event, I email them. See an event, email them. And And some people would get back to me because it's like free
Yeah.
photos. And I learned also, like, when you offer to DJ for free, you're basically asking for an hour of someone's time. And no one wants to give you an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you're making photos for free, well,
Yeah.
first of all, you're solving a problem that not everyone wants to solve there.
Yeah.
Because not everyone wants to make photos for free. So it's a different problem. And then you're not asking for the hour of their time. You're just asking for 5 minutes for them to look at the photos. And they could even look at it for 10 seconds
Yeah.
if they're not interested, right? So it's a different ask. So much more people said yes, and no one offered it. So I got a lot of yeses, or a few yeses. And then after I did one photo shoot for free, he was like, we actually look for a new photographer. Can you do that? We paid our last photographer $100. Come for 3 hours. And I was like, yes, let's go. I was super happy. Yeah, and then I joined some Facebook groups, and I learned that other photographers do also clubs, and this is how their photos look like. So I learned to edit, and then people started calling me in the middle of the night, hey, our photographer canceled, can you join? I was like, yeah, how much do you cost? And I was seeing somewhere 300, so I was like, 300? I was like, oh, we don't have 300, we can pay you 150. Okay, let's do it. With my second gig, right?
Yeah.
So I was happy. I would do it for free. I would do it for the free drinks.
Yeah.
I was just really curious about how the clubs in Amsterdam look like.
Yeah.
I had no clue. I was 18.